Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tone on a Budget. Today, I am really excited because we are talking about the brand new, just recently released TEO-5 from Oberheim. This little guy is, it's a lot more than it looks like. Don't let looks deceive you. This is a lot of synthesizer. So, right out of the gate, do I like this? I love it. Am I going to keep it? Oh, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to keep it. Um, this thing is incredible. Let me take it back to the first bank and the first patch. It's an Oberheim. I hope you're listening to this in headphones or on some good speakers because you really need to hear this thing. I know the compression in YouTube and stuff is going to make it hard, but it still should. Should be able to hear that warmth and that girth. Um, Out of the gate, let's talk build quality. It's a metal chassis. The key bed's a Fatar key bed, and it feels identical to the key bed on my Moog subsequent 37. Um, all the knobs feel very, very good. They're not wobbly. They're tight. The only knobs that feel a little bit wobbly are the encoders, and those are the ones without a line on them for position. Um, they they actually work the menus and the stuff under the hood, which is vast. There's a lot going on that you don't see on the top once you get into the menu and start doing some menu diving. It's all laid out very intuitively. It's not a hard synth to learn how to navigate, even in the menus. Once you get into the digital side of it, it's really a pretty easy synth to learn as far as setup and programming. Um, it does so much. I can't even get into how much it does because just don't have enough time. Um, it's laid out as you would expect any analog synthesizer. You've got your LFOs, and on this particular synth, it's LFO1 is mono and LFO2 is poly. You can choose. Here, I'm going to bring the camera over here so y'all can see what's going on here. All right, you can choose the different wave shapes on the LFOs. You can set the frequencies of the LFOs and the amount of the LFO in the mix. Okay. And we come down here. We've got our portamento. Unison. We can do mono, unison, or poly. Okay. You've got your rate. And actually, the vintage knob, what it does is it throws a little randomization into the oscillators and makes it sound more old school. You've got your octave setting, -2 all the way up to +2 octaves. And then here you have your oscillators, and you've got you can set your pulse width on frequency 1 and 2. Both of them you can choose from 3 different wave shapes, and you can enable all 3 wave shapes on both oscillators simultaneously, and that gives you a really huge sound. Over here, I think I neglected to mention, it has an overdrive, a dedicated overdrive that you can engage. You've got there's your little screen and your controls for getting into the menus and navigating your way through the menus and setting things up like the different digital effects and the mod sources and destinations. There's your arpeggiator control. The filter is a SEM filter. Okay, the X mod is a through 0 through FM. You also have a sub frequency that you can enable in any patch that brings even more girth into the mix. There's your cutoff, your resonance, and it has a state variable filter. It's got low pass, high pass, notch, and you can roll through any of them while you're playing. Okay. Over here, you have your effect controls. You also have your sequencer controls, which is very basic. You've got record and play. You have there's your effect controls right there. Reverb is a dedicated reverb. The rest of the effects are controlled inside the menus. And then you have your envelopes. You have 2 envelopes. And then down here, you have your preset selections. You have 16 banks of 16 each. So 256 factory banks. And then, if you see right here, you got a factory button. When that's enabled, you're on the factory settings. The factory settings are protected. You cannot change them. You cannot erase them. You can't do anything with them. They're there permanently. But turn off the factory button, and what it does is, the way they set this up is all of the factory presets are mirrored in the user banks, which is 16 banks of 16. Okay, so you can go through the user banks. They're the same settings, they're the same patches as the factory, and you can manipulate them and change them and save them as you like, or you can overwrite them completely, start from scratch with an init sound, and you can create your own patches. Okay. The key bed is a FITAR key bed. It's very, very nice. It says semi-weighted keys. So, yeah, I am really, really impressed with this. You get a lot of synthesizer, a lot of bang for your buck here. I would definitely, put this in the tone on a budget category. Yes, it's a little pricier than some of your other synthesizer offerings from companies like Behringer and Novation and Korg. They all have some very budget-friendly synthesizers that are out there. This is a little more than those, but you also get a lot more for your money. Like I said, it's a FITAR keypad, metal chassis, tons going on under the hood, complete analog signal path, just lots and lots of stuff. Build quality is excellent. The knobs are not wobbly, except for the encoders are a little wobbly. Those are the ones that don't have a line on them to show position. But the potentiometers, all of them are good and tight. The pitch and mod wheels are very, very smooth. They don't have any movement side to side. They're tight. I don't like the plastic end cheeks. Those I'll probably change for something made out of wood, some type of wood, either walnut or stained mahogany or something. One thing that I thought about on the build that I think is kind of cheap is all your graphics here, all this. On most synthesizers, you're going to find your panel graphics are screen printed. They're inked on. This one is not so. It appears to be a plastic or vinyl sticker that's an overlay on the chassis. It's not a screen printed chassis. So I think they probably cut a corner there, saved a little money doing it that way. But, and here's what my worry regarding this is, if this catches direct sunlight, if you're out at a festival or something playing an outdoor gig and this heats up, we know what happens to sticker glue once the sun hits it. They can, come up and peel. The glue lets go. We'll see if that happens. Next summer I'll probably be playing some outdoor gigs with this thing. I really like it though. I have to say, I'm very happy with this synthesizer. I've only had it 4 days, and from the first hour with it, I was like, wow, this thing is really nice. Really, really nice. This is going to be in my arsenal for as long as it lasts, and then I'll get it repaired, or I'll replace it depending on what the repair cost is. Um, it has stereo outs. It has headphone out. It has foot switch connections. It has MIDI in, out, and through in the back. Um, what you can do with this thing is just massive. The amount of possibilities that they gave you in just programming the thing is incredible. You're getting, like I said, you're getting a lot for your buck. So, I mean, my take on it is it worth the price, even though it costs more than, like, if you want an Oberheim type offering, there's the Behringer UBXA. The difference between the UBXA and this has 44 keys. The UBXA has 61. This has 5 voices. The UBXA has 16. Okay, so in appearance, it seems like you're getting more synth with the Behringer offering, but in actuality, you're getting a lot more with this because there's a lot going on under the hood with all the effects. The Behringer offering has no built-in effects. It's a copy, so you're not actually getting. This has the actual SEM filter, Tom Oberheim's filter. That is the sound of Oberheim. It's there. The envelopes are Oberheim envelopes. The ring modulator that's on board is an emulation of Tom's original ring modulator. And Tom Oberheim was part of designing this synthesizer with Dave Smith. And I think actually the partnering of Tom Oberheim and Dave Smith of Sequential Circuits, I think that's probably, you want to talk about a dream team right there. This enabled both these men to stay in business and continue building instruments that we love. They've both been around for a long time. Dave Smith and his Prophets have been around since the 80s. The same thing with Tom Oberheim. He's been around since the late 70s. He came, Oberheim, Moog, and ARP were the first 3 synths on the market to be marketed to the public. ARP never really made it. I didn't like them anyway. I didn't think they were very musical sounding. But Oberheim and Moog, they continued, and all through the 80s, you saw Oberheim and Moog on all the stages. You hear, when you listen to a recording, if you know these things, you hear a particular, synthesizer playing on a recording, you know what that instrument is. You know if it's a Moog or if it's a Oberheim or a Yamaha or a Korg or a Roland. You can tell. You know the sounds that these things are capable of making and what the synths sound like. And these things, the Oberheims, you hear them a lot. This thing sounds like the 80s Oberheims. Let me go to the last bank and let's see. Lovely sounding. Then we go over here. This one is huge. I love this one. I'm going to be keeping this. They put a lot into this. This has the Oberheim sound. I play a lot of Rush, and I'm the bass player. I'm the bass player synthesist, and I play the pedals, I play the keyboards, and I play the bass. And you can see my Rickenbacker sitting right over there. You know, I'm a Geddy Lee nut. So this will be part of my synthesizer arsenal for years to come, or as long as it lasts. We'll see how long it lasts. Hopefully it lasts good. I got a case for it, and it will be part of my stage rig, which will consist of either this and just the Moog Subsequent 37, or depending on the gig and what I need, I will add the ASM Hydrosynth to it as well, because that's an 8 voice. I might need the greater polyphony for some stuff, but yeah, this is definitely going to be a part of my arsenal for a while. I'm going to hang on to this thing. Anyway, that's my take on the TEO-5 from Oberheim. I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you if you're on the fence about the TEO-5, don't let the 5 voices, the lack of polyphony, take you out of that game, because what it sacrifices in polyphony, it makes up for what's under the hood. What you get is quite a bit. And I mean, I can play. Let me go back to. You can hear that ring modulation going on in there. You hear it? There's that filter. Yeah. So, there you have it. The Oberheim TEO-5. Get them while they're hot, folks. I'm guessing over time that the price of these is probably going to go up, as everything does. So, thanks for watching. This has been Tone on a Budget. I'm Greg. Peace. God bless.